everyone, I'm Basanta from Smart Tech Guide. Today I'm coming with one new topic, artificial intelligence as a service. What is it? What are the benefits of using it, and what are the challenges? Those kind of stuff on this latest technology. Before going to the artificial intelligence, a little bit about AI or the artificial intelligence. It is a way to get machine to do the same kind of work that human brains can do or accomplish. Machine learning, which is the leading type of AI right now, is a way to get computers to learn something without developer explicitly programming or hard coding what to do on their program. Where machine learning, it learns from the behavior and the environment. AI is based on the sets of rules and which needs to be processed and to be followed, and that also called the algorithms. It has two different sides, like a classical model or the deep learning model. The classical model, machine learning, is based on the classification and regression of the data, and deep learning is based on the neural networks, where the program is written in very fair degree, but it learns from environment, learns from the data, and it enhances itself. Again, before going to AI as a service, there are some other service platforms or as or service things. Let me define them in one line. Software as a service, it's a software distribution model in which the third-party provider hosts applications on their server and customer can access over the internet. For example, Netflix, Google Apps, Dropbox can be treated as software as a service. Next one is platform as a service, or PaaS. It is similar to SaaS, but instead of distributing individual software application, the platform can be provided to customers, where customer can install their own software applications or manage their applications. For example, in Google Cloud, you can own certain applications and you can install your application, you can manage that application, Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure, AWS. And one other example of this one is again Netflix, but not as a perspective of us as a customer, but as a perspective of Netflix as a company. Netflix use Amazon Web Service as a platform. That's platform as a service. And infrastructure as a service. Platform and infrastructure are kind of colliding a little bit, but it's one tier up. Platform, you can buy or pay, you can rent on a pay-as-you-go basis to install certain software. You can pay for the platform, while infrastructure is even more, and you can have multiple platforms inside a single infrastructure, or you can have multiple machines, server inside the infrastructure. It's little bit one tier above the platform as a service. And there are more other as a service, like DaaS. It has two meaning. One is data as a service and another is desktop as a service. It depends on where you see and where you hear the term. If you are hearing the term on data industry, then it most likely be data as a service. If you are hearing the term in some other places like desktop and virtualization, then it's desktop as a service. The same terms has different meaning on based on the different industry. Now AI as a service, artificial intelligence as a service, based on the study from International Data Corporation, the spending guide forecast for the worldwide spending on cognitive and artificial intelligence could reach 98 billion in by 2023, and that's more than 2.5 fold of the 2019 spending, that's 37.5 billion. Most of the company who wants to use cloud service nowadays has single reason: using machine learning or AI. And implementing machine learning and full-fledged AI individually by certain small company or even big company, it's huge cost and time consuming. So AI as a service makes that possible. It company doesn't need to invest a lot on the initial, and they can try it with a smaller project, and then they can grow as the business grows. Yeah, and the solution is AI as a service, where anyone, whether it's a large company or a small startup business, they can try AI as a service on the pay-as-you-go basis. AI as a service is essential for adoption of artificial intelligence. As I mentioned before, implementing AI on their own by company, small company or big company on their own, it's really expensive and time consuming. So for the better adoption of AI, AI as a service is essential, where company can purchase or purchase on the pay-as-you-go basis, basically rent, like a rent, and then they can try a smaller project and then they can grow on. Like other as a service, AI as a service uses same approach. It has low and transparent cost. Company can focus on their own business rather than the implementation of AI, and less risk on the investment, flexibility to use smaller scale project and then grow on later on, and it empowers the data. AI as a service, it has various types, and so many vendors out there. Types, it's you can see nowadays you have a lot of bots on your messenger, Facebook Messenger, or any other messaging platform. So many bots, they auto reply based on your answer. Based on your answer, they ask different questions. Kind of, that's pretty much AI based bots. So and if you use Google Assistant or Siri or Amazon Alexa, they also answer based on your they also questions or answer based on your feedback. So that's again AI. And machine learning APIs, where API can be exposed for the company to consume, and then they can try their own service using the API. And similarly, computing, cognitive computing, it's a little bit different technology, and again it's API based service. So company can try different APIs to implement their service based on their requirement, whether they want to use cognitive computing or just machine learning, or they want to use fully fledged machine learning as a service. Vendors, there are so many vendors out there. The major vendors at this particular time are Google, Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, and Alibaba. It's recently, Alibaba is gaining the moment recently. It's a Chinese startup few years back. So these are the major vendors. There are so many out there, but these are the main one. Pros and cons, like I mentioned earlier, little bit of pros, like it has low risk and lower the cost, transparent cost, and it can be start with a small and can be can grow along the business. And the main thing is usability. It can be used out of the box, and company doesn't need to expend a lot of time and resource to develop to make it in use. Like they don't have to do pretty much nothing. So these are the main advantage or pros, and it has little bit of disadvantage or the drawbacks. Basically you have to, if you are a business owner, you have to rely on third party service like Amazon, and then there is a dependency. Sometimes they have maintenance and your business go down, that kind of dependency and reliance on the third party service. And on the long term, the costs gonna increase because it's a rent kind of thing, pay as you go service. So long term cost will be high, though it for the short term it's a smaller cost and you don't have to take high risk, but the long term cost is high. And reduced security and transparency in contrast to the on-premise services. Like if you have data on your on-premise database or server, then that's more secure and transparent than using the third-party service to store your data and manage your data. And one other the very important drawbacks is data governance, where there are so many laws regarding the privacy, like GDPR and CCPA. GDPR is European regulation, and CCPA is California regulation for the privacy. These and some other industry based like healthcare, those data may not be stored on cloud because of the privacy reason and those regulatory act. So these are main disadvantages, and of course some advantage. Though there are drawbacks, it takes some time to change the things. So AI as a service is near future, and it's gonna be very booming field of the software industry. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and share my channel and videos, like my Facebook page, and don't forget to click on the bell icon next to subscribe button to get notified of my future videos. If you haven't watched my previous videos, go ahead and watch. Feel free to comment if you like to know something or have feedback for me. Until next video, have a good time. Bye bye.